ever be.
Most ready ever.
Yeah, the most ready. Hey! Welcome, everyone, to Walking After Whiskey. I'm Shorty.
Welcome to Beer the Walking Dead.
Who are you?
I'm Travis, and this is Shorty. We're going to break down your latest episode of Fear the Walking Dead tonight.
Okay.
Okay, exactly.
All right, so that didn't go well. So what would you like to talk about? What do you want to do now?
We're going to do that again. We're going to do that again.
All right.
This is better.
Take 2. Welcome, everyone, to Walking After Whiskey. I'm Shorty.
And welcome to Beer the Walking Dead.
Oh, shit! Oh, my God!
We're doing both
This
of them.
is terrible.
You got
All right,
it.
we're going to try this again.
Oh, you know what's going
Not
down when the
enough
producer's
ginger.
drinking. You know we're doing good.
Welcome, everyone, to formerly Walking After Whiskey, now Beer the Walking Dead. I'm Shorty.
And I'm Travis.
Oh, shit, he remembered.
We're going to break down your latest episode of Fear the Walking Dead and some top shelf beer.
Top shelf beer.
Yeah, not that lower shelf shit that she's used
This is
to.
at the top of the refrigerator.
we keep it cold.
Man, the wheels have fallen off like 4 buses already.
We're gonna break down Basic Pumpkin Ale from Lee Dog Brewery in Sparks, Nevada. Actually, one of Shorty's best favorites beers ever.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to it. I haven't had any pumpkin beer. Like, I don't know what happened this year, but no pumpkin beer. This will be my first.
We're also gonna break down season 6, episode 4, entitled
The Key.
Aquí in Spanish. Happy Merry Day de los Muertos.
Cheers, everybody.
That's painful. You got it though.
Yeah, it's got some spice in there.
Not enough ginger for me.
Ginger.
Or
It's
cinnamon.
not ginger beer. It's pumpkin beer.
Pumpkin is just cinnamon and ginger, really. No such thing as a pumpkin spice.
A little nutty.
But I digress.
Some spice.
So the episode, did you love it?
I did.
Let's talk about it
It
then.
was very much, I kept thinking I was going to hear some, like what we talked about last time, a little I really thought it was going to happen. Also very kind of Unforgiven-like, the movie
Yes.
Unforgiven by Clint Eastwood. Like very, I kept thinking about that all the time. I really like the Western like stance.
Awesome.
I really enjoy it. It's cool.
We get to episode 4, we get the return of Dory. Now, I said before, Dory's my favorite character in this series. I was glad that
see
Shorty
why.
got to see him
see
finally.
why.
Such a
Great.
smooth character. Used to be a cop. Dad was a cop. Very much a moral compass of the show. He's basically just like a Morgan. That's why they hit it off when they first met each other. Guys are just walking parallel lines together. I love this character. It was good seeing him. He has 2 hats now. He doesn't have his old Dory hat. He now has his Ranger hat, which has that like Three Musketeer little bend to it.
Little bend. Little bend. And now he's got 2 keys.
The show starts off with him. He meets. We are introduced to one of these ladies who does laundry, I guess, for the place. A very nice lady.
Janice.
And Janice. Rest in peace.
Poor Janice got it.
And we see we're open privy to a murder.
So CSI apparently in the apocalypse.
Right.
You still dig up bodies. You still find planted, stuff. And
Right.
Janice totally framed, and you could see. I mean, that came a mile away. And gosh, those earrings are very clean. I'm going to say that, by the way, too. For being in the dirt and for being in the apocalypse.
Yeah, Virginia tried to just say he was a drunk. Don't worry about it. The guy was a drunk. We see him early in the episode. Yeah. He changes lookouts from him from time to time. So the 12-hour shifts each other. So Dory always relieves this guy. Well, one day he goes to relieve him, and he's not there. Leading him to go back behind the house, see what's going on. He finds him tangled up, being eaten on a barbed wire fence behind his house. And they just say he's a local drunk, not to worry about nothing else.
Virginia doesn't want him to investigate.
Yeah.
In fact, does things to make sure that he is not able to investigate, but does it anyway. That's where he finds. So she knew what was going to happen. That's how he found the planted earring. Again, even in the apocalypse, we will dig up a damn body to get to the bottom of the CSI. It'll
Right.
happen.
So Dory's he's cornering up the scene, going back to his police officer roots. You know, if he's given this task to be the officer on duty, you know what? He's going to go back to what he knows. So he has this little yellow rope, lasting off, pointing out the place where he's investigating. Virginia tries to discourage him from it, right? But he can't get out of his head. Like, this is when you're a cop, I guess it's in your blood. You're a blue blood or whatever they want to say. So he comes back in and he finds this earring, as Shorty mentioned too. Very clean earring, very planted earring. And he goes to Virginia with it. It was obviously the wrong thing to do.
Well, he just knows that the guy wouldn't have done anything stupid to himself. And then when it comes to light that Janice is the one being framed, he knows for sure it's not her. And then, Janice does do some confession with him. Oh, what was his name? Cameron. Yeah, Janice and Cameron were together, so he finds all that information out, but he also does care about Janice. Like he says in the beginning that that it's the closest thing left to family that he has, and it's weird that Janice kind of never acknowledges that though.
Well, they see each other every day. They see each other every day, and he gets laundry from her, and she like tries to start a conversation with them, but he just doesn't have any time of day for her. Obviously Dory has his woman, Jenna Elfman, and he loves her very much, and he writes her letters all the time. And so he doesn't like he's cheating on her. I think it's just like a respect thing. He doesn't try to engage with her, but he sees her every day. They acknowledge each other, and she tries to get something out of him, but he never bites back. But let me ask you this: did it seem awkward to you that at first it was supposed to be just a drunken person, that's why he got killed, and when Dory investigated, it was when she knew the fall guy. So Janice wasn't going to get caught up for this murder until after Dory investigated it. So do you think that Dory is responsible for her death?
No, because I think this is what I think. I'm like, no, that's it. Move on. No, and I don't think that because there was, who knows when, like, the knife never got back to where it was supposed to be. The page was taken out of who checked out the knife. So It seems like there was a lot of pre-planning that she was always going to be framed. Sure. So, I don't know. You know the characters better than I do, but that didn't even click in my head. And not that you're wrong, it just didn't click. I just thought from the beginning she knew she was framing her.
Me be wrong? Come on now. So she basically tells Dory she's in jail at this point, and she knows she's being framed for it. There's no way out of it, right? So Strand comes to town. We don't really know why Strand is there. It's kind of awkward. But we learn that Strand has a key to the city, right? So he's like, okay, I'm glad that you're moving up in ranks. And so Dory starts talking to this woman, and her spirits never. With him investigating it, her spirits never get higher. Like there's no one the woman's trying to help her out, and she just is like, I'm done. And then she tells him, I have gas in the floorboard. We have a motorcycle stashed in the motorcycle. It seemed that
Marker 39.
It seemed that as soon as she found Cameron and her man, that they were leaving together, she realized that all hope was gone. Everything dies here. So she's like, you know what? I'm just gonna die. And I kept asking Short, what leverage does she have over her? Like if Dory's trying to fight for her, why is she gonna,
Yeah, you thought she had something on Dory, but she maybe she didn't know. I mean that. Virginia was reading all the letters. Maybe who knows that? Maybe I don't know why that just clicked, but maybe that was it. Maybe she didn't know. I don't know. Yeah. But that's just dirty in itself. That Virginia reading all them letters.
So yeah, Dory goes into Virginia. Basically, he finds this earring, and Virginia praises him on how what good of a job he's doing, but to leave it alone. Basically leave it alone. At this point, this is when Virginia enacts wheels in motion to start covering up the whole murder. As soon as Dory starts investigating it, she knows it's never going to be done until he figures everything out. So she takes further steps to hide everything. But when she reveals to Dory that she's reading all of his notes, Dory finally realizes how much of a prisoner he is too. Right. He not only is she in a cage, he's also in a cage. He is also just as being controlled, thumb on him, as much as a person that's actually being framed right now.
And we see how much at the very end of the show too, but that's a little bit of digression. But so I got a little bit more because I have to. I mean, we've tried to say that I missed quite a few seasons of the show. But Dakota, right? Yes. Also, so little sister again kind of pops her nose into shit and tells Dory that she's hiding something. So yes. Interesting. Does it really matter in the end who kills him? Did we even care? We don't care.
At every corner now of lots and all these places this place owns, this enterprise owns, Dakota has now heard of Strand's special deal. At least she got pissed off when she found out about it. And now she knows that Virginia's covering up for somebody else. Probably someone that either liked this woman that Cameron was seeing or whatever. But Dakota is basically a fly on the wall everywhere. So she knows everything about Virginia's business, and Virginia's very not only just overprotective, but just very get back here. She knows what Dakota knows.
So if you were Virginia, would you let that kid know anything? That seems really stupid to me.
Well, she's in the house. I mean,
I know, but you would think, okay, we got to conduct business elsewhere. Why my nosy ass sister's in the other room? I just think that that's really stupid.
Well, you see, like she's
and she's very like suspicious.
Well, she snuck away to where Strand was last time for the zombies being killed. Like, this kid goes wherever she wants to go. I mean, in the apocalypse, older sisters and moms are just shit. Like, no one can watch kids in the apocalypse.
Nobody listen. You're a terrible person. You're a terrible person.
But dads are great in the apocalypse, oddly enough. It's just these moms that got to pick their shit up. Bootstraps, moms.
Oh, yeah. Shane was technically a dad, and we know what happened to him.
Jesus.
Just saying. Anyways.
He wasn't a dad yet.
He was too.
He was always
He knew about it, didn't he?
Almost.
I don't know. Yeah, he knew about it. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Tangents. All right, so what else we got?
So Dory goes to the rabbi, who's the same guy from House. I love this actor, and basically it's his undoing. He's telling the pastor, like, look, I can't live in this place anymore. This place is just broken spirited. This is after he found out, Janice was actually murdered right outside the wall. And so Dory's basically, you know what, I'm ready to just give myself up. Like, I can't live like this. He breaks down to him.
No, this was before.
Before they gets killed?
Yeah, it was before, because he's actually trying to talk him out of it. Like, he knows, the rabbi knows what's going to happen. He knows what he's planning. But not that he's exactly talking him out of it, and then he ends up finding out at some point, whether he already knew or whether it comes to light later, that the execution came earlier, that her punishment came earlier than Dory was going to find out about. So
he told the rabbi the story about his dad. So his dad found this serial killer, and he knew this guy was guilty. But the only way to get this guy convicted was to plant evidence. And even though he did it and the right thing to do, no one believed him afterwards. Basically, he lost his wife and lost his family because of it, because he went to drinking, because he left with the guilt that wasn't done correctly. And so kind of Dory is breaking the same way down. Like, am I going to go to Virginia and plant this evidence and then plant this bone in her house and follow the same fate that his dad did, or what's he going to do? And then, like, you're right, then he walks outside the house to try and think on things, and he finds her outside the wall. Janice was tied up in the same way Virginia said someone got tied up in her town.
But I feel like it's also a little bit different. Like I kept thinking the whole time, I was trying to think if they were kind of modeling after like a Jonestown type of thing, or what the serial killer that they were modeling. In my head, I kept going through that. But I don't know, though, if it would have been the same, because you have an entire police force that wanted to catch somebody versus I don't know exactly how many people really don't like Janice.
Right.
Janice, not Janice. Virginia. So I don't, like, we had a little bit of a discussion about, how many people were actually brainwashed, or if they were or what they actually saw, how they actually feel about Virginia, because you don't really see a lot of interaction from the regular people.
Sure.
Whereas, Walking Dead, the community seems a little bit bigger. Here you only see like the core people that they want you to see, so that's all you know about. So who knows what the regular populace feels about her. And if it would work, if his little plan was going to work.
They all hate her. So we know that where Virginia's at when she talked to him last season. Like, she split the whole team up because she can't have control over a team of people that because they're stronger together. Like anybody, some of their parts is greater than the whole. And so basically by breaking them up, that makes them all weaker people, but very efficient in what they need to do for her. And so I'm sure that everyone in these communities has been broken up at some time or other. They're all fragmented pieces of bigger puzzles that lost their friends. And as Jenna said, this place kills everything. Like, when you lose your friends, you lose your family.
Yeah.
I have no one here. She goes, I have no family. I have nobody here to live for. And that's how you feel when you're at that point where all you have to do is work just to work. Like, your soul is broken.
And
that's how you get most of the people.
Dirty, but so brilliant at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like, the thought process really is like amazingly smart.
Yeah, when hope is gone, you have all control, and that's basically what she does.
For sure.
And then I don't know how much Virginia knew of, like, them stealing gas, them stealing motorcycles, and all things that had going on for them. Because at some point, Janice wanted this person dead because of something that they were trying to do. And so basically, if someone's trying to break away, we're going to kill them.
Maybe she found out. I mean, she does have eyes everywhere. So as much as people hate her, like you say, she's got spies everywhere apparently. So it doesn't matter.
So Janice basically told Dory, here's our motorcycle, here's where the fuel is, here's where the key is. Get this stuff, go find June, and go save yourself. And then at the end of the episode, June shows up at his house, And this is a broken door. He's now been awarded this key to the city, this medal badge of honor over all these people of a sham because he doesn't believe in anything that's going on here. And he is the person that's on top of this pile of shit he doesn't believe in. And now he has, his wife there. And so now, as much as he hates where he's at, he now has everything that makes him whole.
She's a smart girl.
She absolutely is fucking smart.
Let's not forget, though, the fight between...
Oh, Strand and Dory?
That was good.
Fucking good fight. Yeah, absolutely.
That was a good fight.
Strand did not take the shit.
But we also knew that, even the rabbi, somebody they really trusted, kind of did him wrong, too. Right. So it's awful. So perfect timing to have June re-enter because now he really is stuck there.
And what you keep seeing, like I was trying to allude to Shorty, is Strand's a piece of shit. He's always going to make sure things work out well for him. It's great if it works out for you too, but it will always work out for Strand. And you see this happening with Alicia last episode, and you just see this, and that's why a lot of people that are even from his group hate him. Like the Mexican guy from the last episode hates him. Morgan even has problems with him, because he is just kind of like this shady cat who does work things in the back end to make sure everything works out for everybody, but really to make it work out for him first and then everybody second. Which still is a good guy to have on your side, but you really never know where he's going.
He's like the Mexican dude in The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Like he
right?
kind of befriends you and kind of works out for you a little bit, but as soon as it can it's advantageous to himself, he's going to take the out, right? So. Oh my God, I really do love the Western part.
And Strand's always like that through the whole series. And he's always like that in every single series of this show. He's always been like that, which is great because it's easy to have a piece of shit on your side because you know exactly who he's always going to be. Right? He's not cagey about it. He lets you know exactly who the fuck he is, which is perfect. Because as long as I know I can't trust you, then we're good. Because I know who you are.
Right. But, and like when, again, kind of good and bad at the same time, like he actually stands up as to why Dory's in the jail cell with Janice before her execution. Yeah. So, quick thinking too, right? Because, Regina was like, I didn't expect to see you here, and so quick. So interesting. Very interesting.
It's very much like Game of Thrones. Once you have a moral compass, you're pretty much fucked in this.
There's no moral compass in the Game of Thrones, though.
Well, the people that have them don't last very long. Like Ned Stark and all the Starks, and everyone else who tries to go by the right are the people that are always
Everybody
die.
On that show was going to die.
Well, hopefully it's not a metaphor for this show, because I would hate that. But again, like...
Well, it is a zombie apocalypse. I feel like everyone's going to die anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're all just happy meals.
They're all going to die.
They're all just happy meals walking around.
Exactly. Sooner or later.
About the end. Did you like the end?
I did like the end. So, I hated Morgan on The Walking Dead so many times. I liked him. I hated him. It was a love-hate relationship with Morgan on The Walking Dead. Now... I love this relationship with the dog. It's the weirdest thing, but I really do like that he has a companion.
Right.
Because it's kind of making him a lot more human, a lot more emotional, I guess. So sure. maybe it's the little baby Morgan or whatever, or the friend, his friend with that family. But whatever it is, he's human again. It feels like he's a little bit more emotional, talking with the dog, and then gets sideswiped by the little graffiti artist.
Yeah, a little crappy trailblazer runs off the road, and these two guys walk out. The same two guys we see from the first episode, where they said they keep straight painting the end is the beginning in all these places. We've seen that at the office building. We've seen it on a Russian submarine, the Hunt for Red October, and now we see these two guys now, which I thought was too neat of a bow. It would have been great to see just one of them and not both of them, because now we see these guys looking for this key, and once they see it around Morgan's neck, all hell breaks loose.
So do you really think that Morgan didn't realize until he actually fell out of his shirt? Because it seemed like he was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No, he knew.
Did he know? Oh,
he knew. And the fact that this main guy, I forget his name, was walking around and had it around his neck, he knew it was important. Oh. Like this guy is such a badass. When you cut someone's head off and there's something hanging around it, like a key, this is a little important here, right? It wasn't like a cross or a kind of bling. It was a fucking key, like a big one, too, that went to something we'll find out later.
Right. So thank goodness the dog didn't get hurt, but Morgan takes care of business, which is pretty epic.
I think Morgan knows now too is that the key he has on his neck makes him a pretty big target.
Yeah.
He was driving that guy's truck. Those guys hit him because the truck that he was in, and they said they
knew he had it.
Yeah, they knew he had it. I'm like, who's Virginia? They don't know who Virginia is. So they're like, okay, they're just after this guy and this key. So Morgan knows what kind of bullseye he has on him right now, but it seems like the two guys that knew about him are now gone. So I hope there's a little more to go later in the future. But look at that.
There's
ties
got to
that
be a
bow
lot
up.
more people who know about this key. So that's, we'll see what happens.
Hope it's for the sub. That's pretty badass fucking sub, right?
Oh, good luck pushing that back in the water.
Right. How good's a torpedo on land? I mean, how good's a torpedo on land, really, right? Exactly. What are they gonna do? Like, who knows? I mean, this could be something cool. There could be all kinds of weapons and
It's
stuff.
gonna
Who
be
knows?
like the Pulp Fiction briefcase.
Well, also, if they're in America, why is there a Russian sub on land? Or is, I guess any sub, really?
Because people got shit all around us that we don't know about, I'm sure.
Did you like the episode?
I did. I really liked this episode, actually. Like, really reminiscent of a great Western.
Yes.
Almost like its own little movie in itself. It's
Right.
great. It's great.
She's become a pretty big fan of it. I've been trying to get her to watch Fear for 3 years now, and now she loves it, which is great.
Well, we'll see what happens now that June apparently, because I don't like that character.
She loves Dharma.
I don't like her. So now that she's back, I have to see if I can tolerate her. Oh, you didn't talk about your favorite scene, the tooth scene. I think I figured it out.
Yeah. Ooh. So shitty over here. Figure I can't figure out. So at the very end, Dory has the same music as playing as he helped Janice at the end of the show, and he's had this problem with his tooth all episode, right? But it's, he's had this problem with his tooth, and he finally gets the balls. Like, you know what, fuck this. And he pulls the tooth out of his mouth, right, and drops it in the sink. And I couldn't think of the metaphor I was trying to show here in this, but Shorty.
I said it's because it was rotten. Like he knows that the town's rotten, so he wants, he wanted to get out of the town. Now he purged the tooth that's rotten, so shit's gonna hit the fan. He's gonna bring it.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I'll live with that.
I'm cool with
At least I feel better about myself. Don't have to worry about it anymore.
You should feel bad about yourself.
Cheers. Good review. There's some beer in your glass? This is basic pumpkin spice? What the fuck?
I've been going in between, double fisting. Hello.
All right. Let's read about Lead Dog real quick.
Thing.
Super bitchy about beer sometimes.
Super.
Kind of a fucking little bitch about all kinds of booze, really.
You're kind of a little bitch about all kinds of things.
Best co-host ever.
You're welcome.
So Lead Dog is from Sparks, Nevada. These guys make a lot of amazing beers, a lot of double IPAs that are really great. If you ever see Lead Dog in any of your like local stores you go to buy beer cans from, check them out. Lead Dog does really great on everything. Shorty's to be festive, Dia de los Muertos wants something with pumpkin in it, so we found their basic pumpkin spice ale. It's actually really fucking good.
It is good.
It's not as balanced as I would like when the pumpkin spices aren't really there, but it tastes delicious. I like it.
It's good. It's a solid ale. Like, it's good. It's my first. I'm really bummed, but it is actually my first pumpkin beer for the year. I don't know how that's possible.
Oh, shit.
But I know, weird. Normally there's way more in the books, but nope, not this year, because it's 2020.
Yeah.
But it's tasty. Good choice.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised at how high the alcohol content is. If it really is 6.66, that's a pretty badass lager. So good job, Lead Dog. We'll continue to support you guys, and everyone else, please support them too.
And all of you guys, please support us.
I got this beer at Caps and Cork in Vallejo.
Oh, nice. We're
These
gonna
guys
go
they're a badass. They do a lot of revision. They do a lot of Lead Dog. They have a lot of
You said Altamont, right? Where did you say?
They have Altamont beers there too.
you
They
said
do a really big selection of Northern California and Bay Area beers there. Caps Cork and Vallejo, check them out.
All right, Caps Court and Vallejo. Look up Campers Brewing, Aaliyah.
Them too. All right, guys. Good review.
I'll give you. Thanks, Cynthia.
Salud.
Thanks for getting beers.
Thanks for right. Least I can do.
I made you spit.
Uh,
That's great.
yeah.
Nah, it's me.
Thank you guys. Oh, good job.